Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about my favorite EDC knives. And so, all modern folders. That doesn't mean I don't EDC a slip joint. It just means these are my favorite modern EDC carry knives. And so, I don't think I've ever done a video on this. One time I did a video of my favorite modern folders. Some of them I didn't actually use. So these are the ones I carry day in and day out. I like to rotate them. Some of them I carry a little bit more than others, but they represent a dramatic change in how I EDC. So if you'd like to check out this video and see how I kind of evolved a little bit, I just can't wait to see you in it. All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle, and hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, ciao, konnichiwa, and good day to my foreign viewers. So yeah, I was thinking about this a couple weeks, and I forget what triggered me. Something triggered me, and I said, you know, I don't think I've ever laid these out. But had I done it 2 years ago, it would have been totally different. And so I've evolved. I've changed a little bit, and that's because my needs have changed. And so we're going to look at each one of these. I'm going to tell you about the attributes, what's good, what's bad. I'll tell you right now, they're all outstanding EDC knives, and a couple are really surprising, really surprising. The other thing is, only 2 of these are Chinese knives. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 American knives, 1 Taiwanese knife right here, made in Taiwan. So pretty even split here. But yeah, let's get into it. So 2 years ago, I would have been carrying this. I've showed this many times. This, I think, is one of the most awesome knives on the face of the earth. And this thing has been brutalized, and it just keeps on ticking. I love this knife. It's a big knife, 5 3/8. So I like big knives, and I've carried them most of my life. But starting last year, something changed, and I've been retired now for 3 years, and I just don't do the work that I used to do. You know, I was full-time employed up until I retired, and you know, I needed a heavy-duty knife. I preferred a bigger knife, and I like that extra firepower. But last year, I had 2 goals last year. One was to buy more American knives, and another was to really get into buck. I hadn't really explored buck's lineup, and Knife Delight was talking about this knife. It's a buck sprint, and this in particular, model 841, is a buck sprint pro. So being pro, it comes in S30V. It also has my favorite scale, burlap micarta, and a really big piece of it. And this knife is a little heavier than some of these knives here, but it's still pretty light. And I'll show you in relation, it's a lot smaller than this right here. And I bought this and fell in love with it right away. Really good blade geometry. S30V is solid. I've used it for years. You know, I've got Benchmades in in S30V, and just a solid knife. I was wondering, one, how would Buck's S30V hold up as far as edge retention, and how easy would it be to sharpen. So it passed on both of those. It has really good edge retention, and it's easy to sharpen. The knife has worked flawlessly, and just a fantastic knife. I ended up carrying this knife for like 6 months, and it was actually hard for me to put down. I was used to carrying this, so I'd put it down, I'd carry this a couple days, and then I end up carrying this again. And then I started buying some other knives and exploring this medium EDC option. And so I call this a medium. In a modern folder, maybe 4.5 to 5.5 inches is a large folder. So this is about 4 3/4. This ZT, what a brute this knife is. Love this knife. But these are a lot different. I like the weight, and I like a full grip. And so it was really hard for me to transition into these smaller knives. But what I found is, as I carried these knives, it's all I needed. They did everything I needed to do. So I bought this Deka. This is a Hogue Deka. Got this for a good price. Most of the knives I buy, I wait till they're on sale. I get good prices for them, or I buy them used. This was brand new. This was in MagnaCut, and really my first MagnaCut knife. My first one was more, it's a high-end knife, and I don't use it a whole lot. It's a collector piece. But this is a user. FRN scales, I didn't like that. And it's also really light. And if you like a light knife, very competitive to a bug out, this knife is. A lot of people think it's better. I think it's better than a bug out. Certainly you have better options in this knife, and the affordability is right there. Normally you find them around $140 to $160, but you can find them cheaper. And really smooth action, good heat treat on the MagnaCut. It worked great, and this is a good EDC knife. I like to carry this, especially if I'm in shorts or going to the beach or something like that. It's real light. This was a surprise. The Kizer chili pepper, right? Looks kind of weird. These things were really popular. I think it came out about 4 years ago, so I was late to the gun buying this, but I always wanted one, and I found one on sale, and I bought it. And man, this thing just surprised me. So this is really a good EDC knife. It has a really slicey blade. This is 154 cm. One of my favorite steels. I just love it. It sharpens to a really fine edge. They're really sharp, and they're easy to sharpen. It's a mid-grade stainless steel. It's an old steel, but it's upper end steel. So it's a cut above 440C, and really nice. And this thing, you can see it's a push button. It just folds. It has the thumb flipper. It has a thumb stud, so you can flip it like that if you don't like front flippers, which I don't really like, but some guys do. Very fidgety knife. But if you look in here, it's got liners in it and G10 scales, and it's rugged. So it's a solid knife for medium use, EDC use. You can even use this a little heavier. The one thing about this is normally this heavy curve here doesn't bother you. It fits good in your hand. But in some applications, like when you have your hand like this, it'll dig in a little bit. It doesn't hurt. It just doesn't feel right. And so, but if you're cutting like this in pull cuts and side cuts, it's a real good knife. And these things are a value. So these are still going for $75. And you get G10 high quality scale on it. 154 cm is a quality, I would say higher end steel, and action is great. It's light. Really surprised me, that knife right there. I picked up this Kizer. I'm a hawk for Kizers on sale. This thing normally runs in the $100 range, $100 to $119, but you can find it for a lot less, half that price. I only paid $48 for this on sale, and you have a beautiful linen micarta here in red. It just looks fantastic. It feels great in your hand. Stainless steel attachments, really heavy duty liner. This is a little bigger. This is the biggest out of this bunch right here. I think it's 4 1/4. Okay, 4 1/2. So it's really bordering on a big knife, but not quite there. And so this is a really heavy duty user. First time I used a sheepfoot style blade in EDC, and it surprised me. So this design, this geometry gives you a better point than a normal sheepfoot. A lot of belly, and just really easy to use this in any EDC. I didn't have any problems, but it is a heavier duty knife. So I like to carry this when I go hiking, or I'm camping, or just I'm in the yard going to do a lot of heavy work, with shrubs and trees and things like that. What's the steel in this? S35, 154 cm. Ooh, right there. 154 cm. And use this a lot. Maybe you can tell, I don't know, but it's held up really well. And this is like butter smooth. So look at that. It just falls, literally falls. And, you're getting, for a budget knife, you're getting like a $350 action on this knife. It is absolutely perfect. And a very attractive knife, very ergonomic, and a heavy user. So great knife to have in your EDC collection. Where do we go from there? Let me see. I can't remember when I bought this. I think I bought this year. This is the Rat 1.5. And so I used in the past, I like big knives, and so I used a Rat 1, which is a big knife, and loved using that thing. Used it, EDC'd it, beat it up. I still have it, but I never bought the Rat 2, which is smaller than this. And I really don't like a 3.5-inch knife for a modern folder EDC. You just don't get, you're down here. I like having a full grip. You can see you get it right there. This is a phenomenal knife. So this is a better knife than the Rat 1, which was a great knife. This one's a little more expensive than a Rat 1 because it comes in MagnaCut steel. So you see it right there. Get it in MagnaCut, and that's your model 1.5 rat symbol. The blade geometries on these are good. It's a neutral ergonomic scale that works well in your hand, and you have a natural thumb ramp, which I like. I really like being able to push on my knife and not worry about my hands going forward. You have this choil here that creates a guard, so your hand's protected on the bottom and the top when you use it. So if you like a thumb ramp, this is a great option for you. If you don't, maybe not. But this is a fantastic knife. Just as strong as its granddad. You got those liners in there. You don't even really need these liners with the G10 scales on here. Good grip on these scales. Well-made knife, made in Taiwan. Right there. Ooh, Ontario Knife Company. Taiwan. This really became my favorite. And so I started carrying this more and more just because it, the Rat 1 was a great knife. It's a great knife design. This is just a little smaller than it, but it's a little bigger than the Rat 2 and then MagnaCut. And so I looked today, I think, what was it? Let me look real quick. I didn't write it down. I didn't write it. Yeah, I did. So $139.95 at Blade HQ for MagnaCut. It's one of the least expensive ways to get you a MagnaCut blade, but you can find it cheaper, and I found this cheaper. So I bought this on sale. I believe I got it off of Chicago Knife Works. So yeah, you can get this for around $100, on sale. So, look for the sales. Normally you can find this in Austin for around $95 or $100, sometimes less. So great little EDC option. Just a little beater knife, you could just beat the crap out of that thing. So last year, this is a AD25. So it's a Demco knife, and you can, let's see, where is the Demco? Let's see where it is. Geez, I can't see that. You guys probably can, but I can't. Anyhow, so this is a true modern folder. You have FRN scales on here. Demco calls it Grivex. It's FRN, right? I didn't really like that, but the thing is, I've always wanted to get a Demco knife. He makes a very robust, strong, well-made knife. But they're around $350, and occasionally I do spend that on a knife, but for the most part I don't. And I wanted to experience this shark lock. And so you can see right there, it just drops open. And, as a knife collector, I'm interested in the design of the knife. But this is a fantastic EDC knife. When I first did my review on this knife, it was kind of lukewarm, right? And I said, I can see, this is a good knife, but I wasn't sure about this shark lock. And really, once you start using this knife, it's the most natural and easiest way to open a knife. Top compression locks. A compression lock is basically a lantern lock on the top. It's just easier than a push button or any other way to open your knife. And you can open this, of course, either way. And I think this is, yeah. So you can just pop this down. The detent is not strong. If you live in an area where the police frown on that, that's going to be not for you. But it's a good knife, man. I've really enjoyed this knife. I've had this on the table next to me for a while. I rotate my knives, but I really like using this. I just cut some boxes open yesterday. OS10. So OS10 really, if you do the heat treatment right on OS10, Their edge retention's close to S30V with a good heat treatment. Taiwan really does good heat treatments on their knives, and so this is a great EDC knife for an affordable price. They're around 119. You can get them for less, right? A lot of times they're $80, $90 on sale, and you can easily pick one up for $100. So just a great, strong EDC knife that I like to carry a lot, and have really grown on this, and I really like this shark lock. I just tell you, give it a chance. So on the shark lock, you're not only pulling back, but you have to pull up a little. So you're pulling up on that. See how it comes up like that? So to fully open it, you want to pull it up a little. And then if you want to shut it, you can just pop it closed. That's the easiest way. The ricasso hits your finger, and then you can just snap it shut. But you can, just use a shark lock to shut it. It bites your finger, though, a little there. So that's why I use thumb stud to open it up, and that's how I normally shut it. I don't need to be fancy. It is fidgety, though. If you like to fidget with your knives, man, this thing, you just fidget yourself to death with it. So really nice knife for an affordable price. You can also get this in MagnaCut. They're around 150, but that's still a pretty good deal for MagnaCut. What else? I think this is the last one. So this is a ZT. This is a ZT. I really like ZT knives. I think they make a better knife than Benchmade. When you look at the bug out, this is bug out size. When you look at this knife to a bug out, it just offers way more. This is a standard S35VN, I think. Yeah, S35VN. And really nice ergos on this knife. Again, you don't have liners in here. You just have a little spot that it's a frame lock, but you have carbon fiber on one side of this knife, and on the other is titanium. So it's really light. The difference between this and a bug out is about 700 thousandths of an ounce. So not a lot of difference between the weights. It is heavier than a bug out, but you just get better options with this knife, and I think it's better made. And this is just a fantastic addition to your EDC collection. It is more expensive. So normally this is a 050. So it's did I get that right? 0450 is what this is. 0450. The 52 is the bigger, the full size version of this knife. This is a smaller version. It's about 4 1/8 inches, and just a great knife. High end with a lot of options for a lot less than you get with a lot of other knives. Great American-made knife by Kershaw. And look at that. Whoa! Some emerald green standoff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a good knife. I don't carry this knife so much. I do carry it, though. I like to throw it in my pocket every now and then and use it. But it's a higher end knife, so I don't really beat on it. But these go for around $220. You can find them for a lot less. So you can find them for $180. And for $180, I mean, Benchmade's giving you FRN and S30V steel, for that price. and all the way around, basically plastic. Here you got carbon fiber, anodized standoffs, titanium, and MagnaCut for that price. That's what I paid for this, $180. Actually, you know, I paid $68 for this. So I had some points on Cabela's, and I bought it on the Cabela's website, and I used my points, and I paid $68 cash. But that's what it was going for, $180. So really nice, fine knife there. So that is my EDC knives and how I use them and how I've changed. I'm really enjoying the smaller knives. It's all I need. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.